Do you remember when demo discs were a thing? You would find these in old gaming magazines or from fast food promotions. But what if I told you that you got a demo disc free with the purchase of your budget-level console revision? Ahoy there! While game demos are still a thing in this day and age, demo media is not. I don't think there's been a demo disc since the 6th console generation. Demo discs were mostly a product of the 90s thanks to the runaway success of the PlayStation and the widespread adoption of the CD format. And that brings us to an interesting chapter in PS1 history. The PS1. It was 2001 and the original PlayStation was on its way out. The PS2 had already gotten a head start on its competition. So as a last gasp for the PS1, Sony created their first slim model in the PS1. That's PS with a lowercase 1. It was a complete PlayStation squashed down to a fraction of the size and sold for a fraction of the cost. My family had one, but I don't know where it went. Anyway, the PS1 we had came with a demo disc. This is an official Sony published product. It's the PS1 demo disc that included the words wherever, whenever, forever. Don't tell Shakira. That phrase was meant to highlight the portability of the PS1 thanks to its compact size, and to celebrate the impact of the system on gaming. At the time, the PlayStation was the best-selling console of all time. There was no better way to celebrate the end of the first PlayStation than going out with a whimper. 2001 was not a great year for Sony-published PS1 games, since they were dividing their focus on the PS2 at this point. So what did they do? They published damn near anything here in North America. And with the PS1 demo disc, we get to see what Sony decided was worth publishing or highlighting. Now, because I have a PS2, that means we can play this thing on real PlayStation hardware. I haven't checked to see if this disc can be emulated on DuckStation, but in my experience, game demos rarely work in emulation. What emulation can't replicate is disc rot, so sadly there's gonna be some audio jumping. Time has not been kind to this disc. Right off the bat, the menu music slaps. If I'm not mistaken, this music was used on other demo discs around this time, and I just love this futuristic presentation in the menu. So let's dive into the full PS1 demo disc experience. What did you get on this compilation bundled with your new PS1 in 2001? A whole lot of filler. Let's start off with the two demos that you can't actually play, but are just video trailers. Starting off with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Developed by Argonaut and published by EA, this trailer features the bombastic orchestral music from of the Elder Scrolls fame. Oh, I forgot you can't talk about him anymore. Whoops. Well, it's not John Williams, but it makes an acceptable copyright-free substitute. I do actually own this game, and what I've gathered from it is that it's flawed, but still worth playing, especially for those awful character models that are oddly charming. On the opposite end of the worthwhile spectrum is Twisted Metal Small Brawl from Sony, Incognito, and Santa Monica Studio. This game stayed in North America. It's basically Twisted Metal meets Revolt, where you're fragging RC cars in human-sized environments. On top of this game being exclusive to North America, it was ravaged by critics for its lackluster graphics and slow gameplay. It's one of the weaker entries in the series, especially when the far superior Twisted Metal Black was released earlier in 2001 on PS2, which was also developed by Incognito. For playable demos, we'll start with X-Men Mutant Academy 2 from Activision and Paradox Development. It's a 2.5D fighting game starring the X-Men, and Spider-Man in the full game. While I suck at fighting games, Mutant Academy 2 feels very snappy and responsive in spite of the game's frame rate. It's probably one of the better Marvel fighting games not made by Capcom. The jury's still out on if Tokon will be good. 2 players can even go head-to-head in this demo. Next on the disc is Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro from Activision and Vicarious Visions. No, this game's not related to the movies, as the first Sam Raimi movie hadn't even come out yet. This demo features the first few levels from the main game and a survival mode in the Danger Room. This game is noteworthy for a few things. 1. It added levels in the streets.
Little street hoops, anyone?
2. There was no N64 port. 3. The game was delayed to an October 2001 release thanks to 9/11. Enter Electro plays similarly to the previous Spider-Man game, and it feels a bit stiff compared to later games featuring the wall crawler. They had to start somewhere, I guess. Still worth a try. Next is a game that was published by Sony, Monsters Inc. Scream Team, developed by Artificial Mind and Movement. This was also called Monsters Inc. Scare Island. Scream Team is a prequel to the beloved animated film, and it's an average 3D movie tie-in platformer. You run around, jump, attack things, collect things, and scare the robot children called Nerves. This game's actually okay. It does have the signature camera jank of many early 3D platformers, but it certainly ain't no Bubsy 3D. I tried playing the full game on DuckStation for a bit, but my save game got corrupted. I don't know if that was my fault or what. A PS2 version is also available if that tickles your fancy. Scream Team is a decent platformer, though it's not one of the greats.
Booga 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 booga. Booga 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 booga. Not bad for a guy with one eye.
From one Sony-published Disney film platformer to another, it's Atlantis: The Lost Empire, developed by Eurocom. This demo is cryptic as all hell. Why am I in an active volcano?
The fire gem should be here. According to the journal, the gem is found behind a massive stone statuette.
Who do I need to switch to get across this lava pool? Why won't this lava monster die? This feels like one of those 3D platformers where I might die at any second due to the jump physics. I can't really tell you anything else about this game or the movie, but any of these are better than the direct-to-video sequel. Next, we have Barbie Explorer from Vivendi Universal and Runecraft. Ach, this is pure crap, I tell ya! Barbie Explorer is like a dollar store version of Crash Bandicoot. You're running down a linear path with the camera fixed down said linear path. It's possible to run toward the camera. But because you're a doll and not a crazed marsupial, you can't fight back. Plus, your jumps take a page from the original Castlevania and force you to commit to your jump. You're probably gonna die again and again because of poor collision. The demo's only got 2 levels, a jungle stage with elephants and bottomless pits, then there's a mountain stage where you have to dodge snowballs.
What a big coward.
You know, this wasn't as bad as I had cut it out to be as a kid. That said, this is easily the worst playable demo on the disc, and it even makes Twisted Metal Small Brawl look like Da Vinci. Here's NFL GameDay 2002 from 989 Sports and Red Zone Interactive. It's Sony's own Madden clone. The demo features a match between the New York Giants and the Baltimore Ravens, and a rematch of Super Bowl 35. That means you've still got Michael Strahan on the Giants and Ray Lewis on the Ravens. But the Giants would fail to qualify for the playoffs, and the Ravens lost to the Steelers in the divisional round. Oh, and the Detroit Lions were in the dumpster fire that was the Marty Mornhinweg era. That's your sports history lesson for the day, because I'd rather be talking about anything except this game. The GameDay series was on the lower end of Madden clones, and even the new PS2 version stunk. Last playable demo on this disc is Looney Tunes Sheep Raider from Infogrames. This was called Sheep, Dog, and Wolf outside North America. Remember those old Looney Tunes cartoons with Ralph the Wolf and Sam the Sheepdog? You're basically playing that. You have to use your wits and Acme items to outsmart Sam and snatch the sheep. I didn't really know what to do until I watched footage of the full game. Then playing this stage of this puzzle platformer was a cakewalk. It does look and feel like a cartoon with its flat shading and bouncy animations, but something's missing. It's gotta be the music. And somehow the music from Eric Caspar in the full release goes harder than any kids game needs to. I love this kind of mix of jungle and funk. The full game might be worth a look for the soundtrack and puzzle solving. That's the PS1 Demo Disc, very indicative of the looming demise of the old PlayStation. All the games playable on the disc were all licensed by movies, comic books, a toy, an old cartoon, and a sports league. The only original title on the disc wasn't playable, and it was arguably the worst entry in its respective series. Out of all the games sampled on this disc, Monsters Inc. Scream Team and X-Men Mutant Academy 2 are the surprise favorites. Sheep Raider would have been better if it had clearer instructions and at least one song from the game. Spider-Man 2 is okay, Atlantis is confusing, GameDay is generic sports garbage, and Barbie Explorer is actual garbage. If anything, I hope this demo disc helped you sift through the thousands of PS1 games out there to find the good stuff with maybe a few hidden gems in the mix. Because this demo disc, while nostalgic, blows. Anyway, what were your favorite games highlighted on this disc? Did you own a PS1 and this demo disc? And did your PS1 ever come with that screen attachment? Let me know in the comments. No, I don't need that screen attachment. I don't need it, 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 I don't need it. This has been Squiddy the Kid signing off. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz.